Hey guys, so today I was just going to do a makeup tutorial for my going out look. I'm actually going out with my friends tonight, and I was just going to film while I was getting ready so you guys could see how I do my makeup when I'm going out. So before I start the video, I already put on my foundation and primer. I wear this primer, Lancome La Base and Chanel Perfection Lumiere, and this is in the shade 330 beige. And so how I do this is I just use this little brush right here, and I just apply it like this. And this is just the IT Cosmetic brush, buffing foundation brush by Ulta. And so yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I'm starting by just getting out my Anastasia cream contour palette. And so yeah, so I'm just taking the coolest undertones, and I just put that along my jaw, not my jawline, I put that on my cheekbones, underneath my cheekbones to define my face, and so here I am just putting that on, blending it in, and I also put it on my forehead, on the corners towards the outside to make my forehead appear smaller, and so here I am putting that on. And I'm pretty sure this palette's like, I think you can get it, I got mine at Sephora, it was like 40 bucks. And so here I am, I'm just using my IT Cosmetics brush, and I'm blending it out. It takes me a while to do this because it's put on a lot and it's so dark, but I'm blending it out. And then what helps me sometimes when blending is to use circular motions. It's important to make sure that it doesn't look like it's getting too patchy, which sometimes happens to me, and I feel like this brush is like the best one I've ever used, and it works the best for this. So I'm almost done here, and then I get my Age Rewind Concealer by Maybelline, and I have it in the shade Fair, and I just put this under my eyes to brighten it up, and on my forehead and my chin. I put it on my forehead and my chin so to help with the contouring, and just under my eyes to get rid of dark circles. And also towards my nose because I have a lot of redness around my nose, so to get rid of that. And so I just blend this part in with my finger. I just find that works best. I've never found a brush that I've liked a lot, but the rest of my face I use the brush. And so now I'm just using my Fit Me concealer, and it is also in the shade, it's in the shade Light, and so I'm just putting this on one blemish I had on my forehead, and I just patted it in. So now I'm using my highlighter, and this is the Becca highlighter, the Becca Cream highlighter in Moonstone, and I just use this BH Cosmetics brush to apply it on my cheekbones. I go through this a few times because I really wanted to be glowy, I don't know, so I did that. And it also works with my contour to make my face look very defined, and my cheeks to look, my cheekbones to look more defined, I don't know, but yeah. And so now I'm just using this chapstick. It's just one I got from Target. I'm putting it on now so that by the time I'm putting on my lip gloss and stuff, my lips are already soft and all ready to go. And now I'm just using my Dip Brow by Anastasia, and I use it in the shade Soft Brown. And with this, I just use this small eyeshadow detail brush. It's just what works best for me. And I also use a spoolie before I put it on to make it easier. So it takes me a long time to do my brows, so I just sped it up even faster because it's pretty boring. But yeah, I basically just go through with that little brush, and I extend them a little too, and I just fill them in. Not all the way, but more towards the outside, and I leave the front part a little less filled in. So there I was doing that. And then the next step I do is I just put translucent powder all over my face. I use a smaller BH Cosmetics brush so I can put more under my eyes, sort of bake it. This isn't really baking because I guess I didn't do it right after I did my concealer, but I just concentrate most of it under there. And then I go through with this bigger Sonia Kashuk brush that I got from Target, and I just put the translucent powder all over my face to make sure I don't get oily or my makeup doesn't come off throughout the rest of the day. And now I'm going to use my bronzer. This is I don't even know how to pronounce it. Guerlain one, but it's in the shade Terracotta, and I just use this to bronze up, put it around my face, make myself look a bit tanner. And then I'm just using my IT Cosmetics light application blush brush, and I'm using my favorite Tarte, can't open it, my favorite Tarte blush in the shade Glisten, and I just like smile when I do this and then put it on the apples of my cheeks. So now I'm going to start my eyes, and I'm using my Lorac primer, eyeshadow primer, and I just dab like a little bit of this on my eyelids. A little bit of this goes like a very, very long way, I've found. So here I am doing that. Fun stuff, fun stuff. And then after that, I just go in with this big fluffy blending brush, and I just start by putting on my transition shade and my eyeshadow. And the one I'm using is from the Naked Basics palette, and it's the shade Naked 2. So I just use a little bit of toilet paper to make sure that it doesn't, like the fallout doesn't get on my face makeup, since I did my face makeup first. You can also like avoid this by just doing your face makeup second, but I just prefer to do it this way. So I just hold that underneath my eye, and then I just blend it, blend it, blend it. I blend so much, the more you blend, the better it's going to look. That's just what I do. So then I'm looking at it, and yeah, so there's just the transition. And then after that, I'm going to my Lorac Pro palette, and I'm getting a shade that's a bit lighter. It's the cream shade. I'm just putting this on my lid, like the front part of my lid, and blending it into the transition shade I just put there. And I'm using the same BH Cosmetics big fluffy blending brush, but to apply it I'm using my Urban Decay brush, the one that came with my Naked palette. And so here I am, I'm getting a tapered crease brush, and I'm going back to the Lorac Pro palette, and I'm getting a shade that's a bit darker than the two I've been using. It's called Sable, and so I'm just focusing this just in the crease of my eye, and even more towards the outer side, the outer crease. So I'm applying this and then just blending that on with the same blending brush from BH Cosmetics. And I'm blending, 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 and then I'm going through with the light bronze shade in the same Lorac palette. And what I do with this is I get my Urban Decay priming or setting spray, and I just dab the brush in it and wet it, and then pick up the color, and this helps it stick more, and it also makes the color more intense. And I don't know, more glittery. I don't know. I love the way that looks. And so I just put that in the front of my lid, and now I'm going in to get the shade Silk Teddy from my Natural Eyes Too Faced palette and highlighting my brow bone with that. And I'm just putting that shade on and blending it out. And now I'm using the Urban Decay brush, and I'm going to take another shade from the Naked palette, the darkest one, that's not the black, Faint, and I'm just putting this underneath my eyes on the outer part, and then also my outer corner. So I'm just doing that, and then I blended that in. And now I'm taking the shade Champagne from my Lorac palette, and I'm going to put this on my inner corner, and I'm just using the small side of my Urban Decay brush to do this. And I put that on, and then I'm just setting my face with my setting spray from Urban Decay, waiting for that to dry a little bit. And yep, moving the camera around. And next I'm getting my highlight. So the reason I did this so quick is I put on my highlighter while my setting spray is a little bit wet, the powder highlighter, and it sticks better and gives like a more intense highlight. So I just used my Laura Geller one. It's the light gold thing, and here I am. Now I just curled my eyelashes and I'm doing mascara. I sped this up so fast because it takes me so long, and I think you guys know how to put on mascara. So I'm just curling my lashes, and the one I'm using is by Maybelline, and it's the Colossal Cat Eyes Volume Express Waterproof. It's my favorite. I find that the waterproof works best for me. And now I'm using my Sexy Mother Pucker lip gloss by, what's it by? I can't remember. It's in Nude Star though. It was by Soap and Glory, so I'm putting that on. And this one's plumping, and it actually works for me, so I like it a lot. I find that I actually notice a difference in my lips after a little bit. So yeah, I think that is the last step I'm doing. Yeah, that's my final look. Here I'm talking, but I realized I accidentally um, deleted the audio for this part, but I'm just showing you my eye look. I turned off the lights because I feel like you can see it better. But yeah, so if you like this, make sure you guys subscribe, give it a like. I'll definitely post more get ready with me's and tutorials later on. If you have any suggestions, let me know because I definitely want to hear them. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Bye!